when a child turns 10, he's had a lot of fun up until that point in his life. But the cool thing about a 10-year-old is he's looking ahead. He's got a huge imagination for what's going to come, and he's dreaming big dreams. Well, we are no different as a church. We've seen God do some amazing stuff. We've seen people who doubted the existence of God become Christ followers. We've seen marriages healed. We've seen addicts completely turn their lives around and become full-on followers of Jesus Christ. And here's what I believe. I believe that God is not even close to being done yet. I believe the best is yet to come, and we have some amazing dreams ahead of us.
Hey, what's up, Northridge Community Church Network? Just wanted to take a minute to celebrate missions with you guys because we just recently celebrated 10 years as a network. I don't know if you knew this, but our church network gives close to $33,000 per year toward missions and missionaries and really the connection points that we have all over this world. We just sent a team to Atlanta. We're sending a team to Romania. We have commissioned missionaries out for Africa and even Romania this year. And I don't know if you knew this, but like when I say serving all over the world, like we have missionaries in Africa, we have missionaries in Romania, Thailand, Brazil, like they are all over the place, all across this world. And even locally, we're connected with Coalition for Kids, Good Samaritan, Fish Ministries with Jerry Day down in Jonesboro, and then all of our campuses are hosts or helpers to Family Promise Ministries. So I don't know if you knew that, but this church network, God is using them in a super missional way. And then we've seen a lot of great things over the past 10 years, but as we think about the next 10 and what God is going to do, I want you to just stream for a moment because I believe, because God is still writing our story, that you're a part of it. That as you connect your story with Jesus' story, that He's going to use you in the world of missions locally and across this world. Like, think about what if we would intentionally live in apartments or condos, maybe before you bought a home, and you decided to be the missionaries in that apartment complex or in that condo area, loving people like Jesus, opening up your home. What if we provided all of the after-school program volunteer needs for each local school in all of our cities? Like, we could impact the lives of kids and even the adults that work there. What if we were the same people that volunteered for every event that our cities had? Like, they didn't have to put out, a social media plea for volunteers to come and serve through the city's events. Like, what if our churches provided the volunteers for our city, and we love them and we serve them because we are for each of our cities? And then I think about overseas, like, what if our missionaries actually became more like church planners? And what if we equip them and help them to start churches and start networks? So it's not just us here in the United States doing it, but it's them doing it overseas and seeing hundreds and thousands of lives change.
Northridge is where I learned to make disciples. The simplicity of sharing my story and sharing life with others in hopes of the ability to share Jesus with them. I look back over these years, and the engine that has driven life change throughout our network has been discipleship. I think of how Josh has helped lead Will into a relationship with Jesus, and then from there, Will helped lead AJ and Logan, and AJ helped lead Jordan. This multiplication is occurring all across our network, and we have people who are taking this calling seriously. And God is blessing us with more people each and every year to be a part of this mission. See, the mission of the church is going out beyond the walls into the lives of others, and I see God leading brand new believers to do the same. New believers who don't wait to know more, but share their story, and that fuels a movement that doesn't just add, but multiplies exponentially. There have been years of labor to set up this culture of discipleship. It's taken time for people to know how to do this, but now that this is in place, I not only see our attendance doubling, baptisms, church plants doubling in the next 10 years, but I see it doubling a few times over. Discipleship is what has helped start a network of life change, and it will eventually be the thing that leads a movement across our entire country.
It's been amazing over the last 10 years watching God bring together the right people and the right scenarios to develop 4 campuses in 10 years. It's really a miracle that God has pulled pulled that off. But man, over the next 10 years, I see more campuses, more Northridge campuses spreading throughout this region. From the start, it's been our vision to spread a network of relevant churches throughout our culture and throughout our region. But here's the deal. We want to become open-handed. We want to become more than just about Northridge. And so over the next 10 years, I see us becoming a center for training other churches, training leaders to go back into other people's churches and go back into failing churches and struggling churches and relaunch them to become vital, relevant churches in our culture. And so we're looking forward to doing whatever we can to help out the churches that aren't Northridge churches as well. Another thing that I see God doing through Northridge over the next 10 years, or really over the next couple of years, is we want to become more and more active online, even to the point of starting an online campus, so that we have the opportunity to build communities where people are encountering God, experiencing community, and engaging their culture, not just in Johnson City, not just in Irwin, not in Gray, Colonial Heights, Jonesboro, but maybe even around the world. And so we want to become very, very active in connecting people no matter where they are. And we also feel like this is going to be a huge front door for us as a church as well.
It's amazing to see what God has done through the Northridge Network over the past 10 years. In Irwin, it's hard for me to believe that we've already been here for 4 years. We started meeting as a small group of about 10 to 15 people in 2014, and from the get-go, we were extremely passionate about serving our community and being for our city. We've seen that desire grow over the past few years, not only in Irwin, but throughout our network. As we continue as a campus and as a network, we really want to maintain that focus of being churches who are for our cities, for our communities, and for the people that live there. Not only to serve them and love them, but ultimately to point them towards Jesus. Over the past few years, we've seen the lines between community and church be dissolved, where it's no longer this is our community and this is our church, but our church is part of our community, and we want that to continue to develop. Even as we pursue a building in Irwin, we're looking at buildings that will be for our cities, that can be used by our cities, not just one day a week on Sundays or for student groups on Wednesdays, but something that can really be used by the community, whether that's for childcare, whether that's for office space for new businesses, whether that's for a small coffee shop or a restaurant, whatever that is, whatever there's a way that we can love our city. We even want our buildings to be doing that. We've seen that happen throughout our network in Gray and at Springbrook and West Market. There are various different community groups and different organizations that use our buildings during the week, and that's awesome, and that's what we want to do in Irwin as well. Our partnerships that we've been able to build throughout our communities with groups like Rise Irwin and Kiwanis and the Chamber of Commerce and Family Promise and so many others has just been amazing to see, and amazing to see God work through and in those things, and we hope to just see that continue more and more as the years go by.
So happy birthday, Northridge, and thank you for all that you're doing to make your campus an amazing place where people can encounter God, experience community, and engage the culture.